everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Slimming Surgeon podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Kandace Kichler. Today, I have with me Baylee Steele. So Baylee, as you can see if you're watching, is a 6'11" pro basketball player. He competed across the globe in countries like Japan, Poland, Hungary, and China, following a standout collegiate career in D1 schools in the U.S. He is now living here in South Florida, and he's here to share his journey to help others move better, feel better, and talk to us all about the athlete life. Welcome, Baylee.
Dr. Kandace, thank you so much for having me on.
Of course. So guys, this is totally random. I saw Baylee, like a reel that he posted about moving to South Florida. And I was like, this is such a cool story. You posted about like where you came from or like going back to possibly Iowa, I think it was. And you're like, okay, I'm going to either make it or I'm not. Let's go to South Florida.
Exactly. Basically.
Yeah. So I'm from a small town in Alabama, so I can relate. I was like, let me get to a big city. Let me surround myself with the kind of people that I aspire to be like, and let's just make it happen.
Yeah, exactly my thinking too. You know, I mean, I grew up in Iowa and I got all the love for Iowa, but I really want to surround myself with people who think not big, but huge.
Huge.
And down here, those are the types of people that live here. So
exactly. And the weather's not too bad here, right?
I cannot complain.
You haven't experienced summer yet, though.
No, I haven't. It's starting to get a little warm. Right? Yeah.
At least you live somewhere where there's, like lots of access to pools and the beach, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you're in Fort Lauderdale or Miami? Or
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So south, but not too far south.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm close.
Okay. So I just want to kind of like let you give us your story as far as like being an athlete, like when did you first get into sports and how did it get to where you are today?
So I've been playing sports my entire life, right? But I didn't start playing basketball until I was 16.
Oh, wow.
Right. So my sport was baseball. I started playing baseball when I was 3. And from the time I can remember, I wanted to play pro. Right?
Yeah.
And so I was good. Okay. I was good at baseball, pitcher, hitter when I was like 11, 12. That was my peak. Right.
Okay.
And then, I'm growing, I keep growing, and I stopped getting better, right, in the game. And so I used to be the best on the team, and now I see myself as like the worst on the team almost, when I'm like 14, 15. And so I'm like, what am I going to do? But I'm like 6'6", 6'7" at this point. I played JV basketball, right, that 10th grade year in high school, and I had a double-double, and I was having fun, and I was like, So after that season, that summer, I dropped everything and I went all in on basketball, and my mindset shifted from pro baseball to pro basketball.
Nice.
How do I get there? Right. And so I just, for no reason at all, I wanted to be a pro basketball player. I had no reason to believe that I could even do that. I was just this tall, skinny, uncoordinated baby giraffe, just falling down every other time up and down the court, But I had a crazy work ethic, right? I had a crazy work ethic, and I had a goal to play professional basketball. And so I just went all in. I was 3-4 days throughout high school, college. After, senior year comes around, and in order to go pro, you got to go D1. You don't have to, but that's the best route to go pro. I didn't have D1 offers. I was trash. I was horrible, but I was tall. I had a really good work ethic. So I had D2 offers, NAIA offers, but I also had a JUCO offer. Are you familiar with JUCO?
No, but I'm sure my audience of women is.
Yeah. So I go to a 2-year college, which is players go there in order to go D1, basically, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going JUCO. I'm going to try and go D1. So I go there, and still, I'm just this uncoordinated baby giraffe, but I'm working my ass off 3 or 4 days, whatever. And a couple D1 schools offered me. I ended up going to Eastern Michigan. After my year there, I take a step back in that summer, and I'm like, I revisited my long-term goal of playing pro, and I'm not going to go pro if I stay here. So I transferred. I went to Utah Valley University and played under Coach Mark Pope, who's now coaching Kentucky. It was his first year as a head coach. When I went on my visit there, I was like, this is where I need to be. He's a big man. He played in the NBA for like a decade. And I'm like, this is who I'm going to learn the game from. That was my thing. I needed to learn. And so I went there. I redshirt a year, which is where you don't play in the games, but basically you're just a practice player and you're working out for a year straight. This is before any of the NIL transfer portal. We won't get into all that.
Yeah. That's controversial.
Yeah. Right. So I went there and I had a decent year with him, and I knew it was all of us knew it was a matter of time before he left. He went to a better school, a higher level, right? So he ended up leaving after my junior year. He wanted to bring me with him to BYU, but the last piece to the puzzle of me being able to go pro was to be able to shoot threes. You know, a 7 foot a big man who can shoot threes, it's dangerous. But he didn't let me shoot threes. He just wanted me to play to my strengths at the time, which is around the rim, pick and roll. So I said, Coach Pope, I love you. I'm not going to go play for you. I'm going to go play for this coach, Keith Dambrot, at Duquesne University. He loved my three-point shot, and that's all he wanted me to do. So that gets me to signing an agent and going pro. So I was all over. Yeah, all with one goal to play pro. So.
You had one goal, but you made very deliberate decisions. And I think that's important that you kept the big goal in mind, but you knew you had to take smaller steps to get there, like one step at a time. I find that in life, that's so important that you still have to have the big goal in mind, but you have to strategically make moves in that direction or else you're never going to get there.
Exactly. And that's what I did, you know. Me, I've always been very long-term. I've had a long-term mindset, right? I've always thought, 5-10 years in the future for some reason. And now I see that's not normal, right? Like most of my teammates, they aren't thinking on that long of a time horizon, right?
Right.
So I see that now, looking back, that's the only reason that I'm in the position I am today is because I had that goal to play pro. When I was 16 years old, I said, where do I want to be when I'm 22 years old? Who thinks like that,
Yeah.
But it's because of that I just naturally backtracked. How do I get there? It's natural. And then along with my work ethic, that's who I am, right? With my work ethic and the goal and the plan I naturally made to get there. That's how I got here.
Do you think you were born with that work ethic, or do you think your parents instilled it in you?
It has to be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I look at my siblings and I look at myself and I'm different, right? But my dad, he drilled it in me. My entire life, he said a job worth doing is worth doing right. It means don't half-ass anything. If something is worth your time to do it 100% right. And so I saw that as give 110% for anything that I do.
Yeah.
Right?
How many siblings do you have?
So I have 2 in the States.
Okay.
We can get into this.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute. I need to know the story.
Yeah. There's a lot. Wherever you want to go, we can go there. But so I'm half adopted, right?
Okay.
So I have 2 siblings in the States and I have 3 siblings in Bosnia. I'm half Bosnian, right? So my biological father, during the Bosnian-Serbian, right before the Bosnian-Serbian War really broke out, he came to the States to play basketball, met my mom. They got married. She got pregnant. War ends. He goes home and comes back and is like, he wants to move back home, understandably, right? My mom stayed here. He went to Bosnia. My mom met this man who decided to adopt me as his own baby boy.
Wonderful.
When I'm, a few months old. And it's just so wild to me, that even happened. Like I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
Because like it's something you don't really realize when you're a kid. You don't realize the weight of that decision.
For sure.
Like my dad was 24 when he adopted another baby that's not his and raised him as his own flesh and blood.
Yeah.
And so when I really hit that age, 24, 25, I still have goosebumps like crazy. Like it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I told all this to him. I'm like I have the most love and respect for you because of what you did.
Yeah.
And I just can't even believe that you did that. selfishly speaking, I wouldn't do it. I can't see myself
exactly.
doing
That is a huge decision, especially at that age.
Yeah.
I mean, times are different, like
for sure.
we're doing these things at a later age maybe, but still, it's still a big deal.
Yeah. But saying all that to say, I have kind of 5 siblings.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. And none of them are any of them athletes like you? Ish?
The one that has potential is my youngest sister, Delaney, in Iowa, here in the States. She plays volleyball.
Okay.
She's nice. I'm not going to lie. She's so much further. She has so much more natural talent than I had.
Okay.
But she doesn't have my work ethic. And so I tell her that. I'm like, D, like, you're like, what do you want to do with the game? First off, I want to go D1. I'm like, this is what you need to do to get there. And, it's up to her to do it. But, she's the only one that really plays sports, really. My brother, he grew up playing basketball under my biological father. And then he transitioned to like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA.
Yeah.
He's a badass.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you do have definitely you guys have athletic genes.
You could say that, Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my biological father, 6'8", played basketball his whole life. And then my mom, 5'10". She played sports.
Okay, I was wondering, your mom must be tall too.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you looking for a tall woman? Because I've got friends.
Look. I'm engaged, okay? I'm engaged.
What? Okay, sorry guys. Sorry to the whole audience. No.
Right.
Okay, great.
So originally, I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think long term. How are my kids going to be? I want them to be tall, athletic.
Yeah.
So I was really set on tall women, but I fell in love with a 5'4" woman. That
oh my
is
gosh.
Just the most amazing woman in the world. And,
That's great.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I did my homework. She has tall men in her family.
Okay, good. Okay, so the potential's there.
Yeah.
Actually, my husband, who you met and who played college basketball, his father also played college basketball too. Mm-hmm. His mom is 5'2". Mm-hmm. And he's 6'4", 6'5". Mm-hmm. So you're going to be fine. Your kids are good. There's a chance.
Okay.
There's a great chance.
We're good.
Okay. So I want to hit on a couple other things that you're doing. Like you have some content out about functional training, as an athlete to help other athletes and people who are struggling, with some basic things that happen with wear and tear. What's happening with that? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, every athlete has knee pain, whether they admit it or not.
I have knee pain.
Yes, exactly. Whenever I ask my teammates if they were feeling the pain that I'm feeling, they always say, no, I feel great, whatever. I'm like, someone's got to be lying. Whatever. It got to a point where I was having to get injections. I was having to pop prescription painkillers, some strong ass shit.
Yeah.
Just to play the game that I love, just to practice. Right.
Yeah.
And so my back was really against the wall. And so no traditional PT was working for me. My traditional strength coaches, they weren't really working for me. So I found someone on Instagram, Dennis Clifford, who had a very similar position, was in a very similar position as me. And his 2 options were basically surgery or stop playing basketball. He said, fuck surgery.
Yeah.
So he created his own program, right? To rebuild your entire body, to make sure everything is aligned, and so that your knees aren't overcompensating for other areas of your body that are out of alignment or other muscles that aren't activated properly, right? So I got on that program with him, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And so now what I'm doing is I'm helping other athletes build their body to be a professional type of player, a professional caliber type of player, to pass that eyeball test that we all know that it's real.
Yeah.
But to do that without compromising on their mobility on the court, on the field, whatever. So I'm incorporating some of those from what I learned of rebuilding my body into getting your body ready to play against the type of players I play against. Yeah.
That's crazy. How quickly did you see results when you started kind of shifting your training?
It was fast, because it's really such small changes, but I also wanted to learn. So I was locked in. I was 100% committed to it, and I did that, and I feel like a new person, a new player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. What about, so in addition to the exercise and the training that you do to keep your body in tip top shape, are there other things you do? Are you health focused? Do you eat clean? Do you drink alcohol? Tell me the story, because I'm always interested to know how like top performers take care of themselves.
Yeah. So obviously training is one piece of the pie, a third maybe. The other part, is training, nutrition, and recovery, sleep, So I consider myself pretty serious about all of that. When I'm training, I'm going 100%. I put the right foods in my body. I don't eat any added sugar, fried foods, no bullshit, basically, and then I got to get my 8 hours, and so I simplify it as much as possible, but at the same time, it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. So I would say overall, I'm decently healthy.
Yeah. Okay, good. I mean, it's hard though. I used to be like crazy clean eater, but like life gets crazy.
Yeah.
You've got to refocus. And I think you've got to realize that you can't perform to your best ability, whether you're an athlete, a surgeon, or a mom, whatever you may be, like a dad, like anything, unless you're feeling good. And it's so true. The sleep is so important.
Crazy.
Your body can't recover, right? I've got a 3-year-old or almost 3-year-old, and he still keeps me up sometimes at night, and I feel it the next day. I'm like, I need those 8 hours.
Yeah.
Where are they?
Yeah. Right. It makes a difference for sure.
So tell me about how, like being an intense athlete kind of translates like into the real world. Like, how do you see yourself using these skills long-term?
So here's the number one thing that I learned from basketball, right? We talked about how I'm a pro basketball player, but I had zero right to even think I could be a pro basketball player. If I showed you film from my high school days, you would be like, who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah.
But the only reason I am is because I had a goal, I had a vision, and I saw it so crystal clear. I saw it. I believed it 100%.
Yeah.
And I got there. But the biggest lesson from that, I don't want to say regret, it's a big lesson. I achieved everything I want to with this game, everything I set out to. I didn't set the goal to be an NBA player because I thought it was unrealistic. I set the goal of being an overseas professional basketball player because it was realistic, right? I thought I could achieve that. And now that I've literally achieved everything with this game and everything I set out to, now I'm in a position where I'm asking myself, what if I would have dreamed bigger?
Yeah.
Like, what if I would have set that unrealistic goal and saw it as clear as I did for the goal I did set? Exactly. And so the biggest lesson here is to dream big and to, most importantly, see it clearly, see it very, very clearly. Because naturally, like I said earlier, you're gonna backtrack, you're gonna work out how to achieve that goal. It's natural for me. And then you just have to put the work in to achieve that goal.
I love that. I am very similar in that I just, no matter what people say, I'm like, no, I'm going to do this. Like, it doesn't matter what you say. Like, what's your response whenever people say, oh, you can't do that, or, oh, you shouldn't do that, or try to keep you small?
Well, why would you even listen to them?
Yeah.
You gotta look at who's saying that.
Yeah.
If there's someone that you aspire to be, listen to them. Most of the time, the people saying those things are nobodies.
Yeah.
People that we should not listen to. So they can fuck off.
I love it. Oh, you had some heat on Instagram recently about that, right? Like somebody was saying you weren't working out right or something. You were like, bro, come at me whenever you look like me.
Okay, look, here's the thing. Look, being on social media, people are going to talk shit.
Yeah.
It's natural. And 99 times out of 100, I just let it be. A couple of times I'll type something out and I'll delete it. This time, I typed out a response and I posted it.
Yeah.
And I let people know. I'm like, look, like you're a fucking Anon account. Like, what are you even doing? Like, I think I said, like, literally look at me and look at you. Like, you're talking from an Anon account, Yeah. So, yeah, fuck those people. But sometimes you gotta let them know.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's hard because, like, you want to protect your reputation and you don't want to seem like that guy or that girl. But
to say that.
But at the same time, it's like, who are these people? These little like keyboard warriors who would never say this to your face.
Keyboard warrior.
They would never say it to your face, but they're feel free to type it on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. So, what are your next goals? Like, what are you trying to do in South Florida? Like, where do you see yourself going?
So, the there's a very specific reason I moved to Fort Lauderdale, right? I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, you don't want to tell I know there's like this little thing where I'm like, I don't want to tell my biggest goals to the wrong people.
Yeah.
So you don't have to tell me that, but maybe around about some of it.
Yeah. I got you. So we'll throw some hints at it, right?
Yeah.
So even with basketball, I didn't necessarily tell everyone I'm going to play pro basketball.
Yeah.
It was internal for me, right? So with my next chapter in life, I'm still playing basketball and everything, right? But I have a very clear vision of what my next decade looks like. And there's basically 3 major markets for the industry that I'm going to get into. So it's Florida, Arizona, Texas.
Okay.
My fiance is Polish. Her family lives in Poland. So it made sense for us to stay closer to Europe, closer to her family, and by the beach.
Yeah. Not a bad place, right?
So I think it's on top of this, this area being a hotbed for the industry I want to get into. It's a growing market, growing economy. It's exploding. And so that's where I've always wanted to be. We talked about earlier, don't really want to go back to Iowa. I want to be somewhere where I can grow, where I can flourish.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the spot to do it.
Yeah, 100%. There is no lack of people here or opportunity.
At all. It amazes me because my apartment building I live in is so diverse with the different businesses these people own. And I'm just fascinated. I'm an open ear. Every time I talk to someone, it's something new. And so I love that everyone is super motivated and doing their own thing. They're not in that rat race, 9 to 5. They have their future in their hands. That's what I love most about down here.
I do too. It's very much full of entrepreneurs, like people who are not afraid to take that risk and do what you need to do to be successful for you. Because you're right. You're not going to get where you need to go just being under someone all the time. Because they don't always have your best interests. Their best interest is them. They're the CEO of them. You got to be the CEO of your own life and move forward. I love it. I love it. So tell me, like, what's a day in your life right now?
Right now? So I'm chilling right now. You could say I'm chilling. Like my quote unquote work doesn't really seem like work to a lot of people, but how we met, content, Instagram.
Yes.
I enjoy making content. So over the last 10 months now, I've been creating content, and that's my morning, right?
Yeah.
From when I wake up, 6, 7 to like noonish, I'll be creating content, working on social media stuff, and then I'll go work out, hour and a half, 2 hours. Then I'll come back and do some stuff for my business, either content or for my online coaching business. Meet people. I've been trying to meet as many people as possible. And then just my evenings, eat dinner, and then just turn everything off, just chill, for the last hour or 2 of the day.
That's good. You have to disconnect. I have a problem with that. It's hard to like put the phone away and like to stop looking at content when you're a creator.
It's tough.
Like you're a basketball player, I'm a surgeon, but I'm also make a lot of content. And it's like, I feel like I need to constantly be looking at content to see what's happening and what the trends are and what the vibes are. But at the same time, it's very draining. Like, you've got to disconnect at some point.
It's very draining for sure. Like I'll find myself where I'm in almost 100% creator mode and I'm not even scrolling. And then I'm a numbers guy and I pay attention to all my 24-hour post analytics. And when I start to see the trend going down, then I'll start to feel some burnout and I'll feel like I'm forcing it. So then I'll say, fuck it. And I'll take a day off, take 2 days off. I never want to force myself to post something, right?
Yeah.
So I always want to do it with the right intention to provide value to whoever is willing to watch my stuff through whatever lesson I can give based on my life experience.
Yeah.
And so if I ever see myself straying away from that, then I'll
take a break.
Take a day or 2 break. It's not that big of a deal,
I know.
So
it's not, but it is, like it's that weird dynamic where social media, like obviously we existed before it and we're going to exist beyond it. But like right now, it's such a big focus on everybody's mind. It's like, I had a friend get quote unquote canceled recently. And she was like, this is kind of a big deal because yes, I can survive without this, but at the same time, a lot of my business comes from this. Yeah. So what's your take on that? Are you scared to ever get canceled?
Look at my content. I don't give a fuck. I'm myself.
Yeah.
Like my opening hook for today's video was what my GM said to me. You're a piece of fucking shit. I'm being me, you know?
Yeah.
But if I get canceled, it's for being myself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I've had basketball players ask me, like, are you afraid that a team won't hire you because of what you're saying online, because of you posting? And I'm like, look, if a team doesn't want to offer me because I'm going to say shit how it is, like I posted a video about a team not paying me. That happens very often in my industry, and no one talks about it. It's all kind of like,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So 6 months went by, and I was just like, fuck it. I'm making a video about it. I made it very respectfully. But I did it in an informative way to let people know, like, look, this team is not going to pay you if you come here. So that was my intention with it. And then I got a lot of people saying, like, you aren't afraid, whatever. But my response is like, I don't give a shit. You know, I'm myself. I'm authentically me. And I will never apologize for that.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I mean, you're right. At the end of the day, like, love you or hate you, at least you're true to yourself. So that's very, very good. It's a good 100%. Lesson. And you, at the end of the day, but whenever you look to people who have, you know, made it, or who are big, or who are super successful, most of them are like that. You know, they don't care what other people think about them. They are true to themselves, and they use their true, authentic voice. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'll also add too, like, my life completely changed since I started making content as well. Like, I've gotten offers. I've gotten some offers that I know a lot of people would really want to take.
Yeah.
You know, which blows my mind. I can get an offer through social media, but it also taught me the value of it. Like, every business I have will have social media. That is
100%. You have to.
Unlimited leads right there.
Literally. Yeah. I know. It's crazy. Yes. Yeah.
It's insane.
People not doing it. It's like, bro, you got to get with the program.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you rapid fire questions, but before I get there, is there anything else you want my audience to know? Like, anything you want to share, anything you want to teach them, like anything like that? I feel like we've talked about a lot.
Yeah. I mean, look, the main thing I wanted to say, like, if anyone can learn something from me, anything from me, is that do not set realistic goals. Set big goals, right?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I can preach, right? Through social media content, whatever. Set that big goal and see it so vividly that you will work out the plan to achieve it. So that's what I want to say.
I think visualization, like you said, is so important. There are times, like, the people who know me and have followed me for a long time know this story, but like, I came from a farm in the middle of Alabama, or the southern part of Alabama. Like, you know, neither of my parents went to college. And here I am, like, a South Florida, like, Palm Beach plastic surgeon. But there were times in my life when I was younger where I did see that for myself. Like, I doubted it a lot. But at the end of the day, I ended up here. And it's just wild to think how all of our stories can go in that positive direction if you have faith, if you work hard. Work ethic is huge for me. Like, you can't be lazy. It's just not going to happen. And you've got to push through, even though you may not want to. You may have doubters. You may have haters. But if you see a goal for yourself, you can achieve it. It does not matter your skill level, your income, like where you came from, like, you can do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree 100%. And I mean, like, wherever you're at in life today, you're not going to go anywhere if you don't take 100% ownership for where you're at in life right now. You are where you are 100% because of you, because of how you see yourself. And so it all starts with you. Like, if you can't accept that, if you can't take 100% accountability for why you're here in this position, good or bad, then you're never going to achieve what you hope to. So
that is so true. This is such a motivating podcast. Oh my God, guys, eat up this content, please. Okay. I've just got a couple rapid fire questions. I feel like I can come up with more, so we'll see what happens, because you already answered one of them. Okay. I didn't know you were engaged. So he is not single. He is taken.
That's right.
Okay, so Morning workout, late night lift. If you had to choose, which would you go with?
Early morning over late night for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like if I work out late, I can't sleep. So I've got to work out earlier.
I'm just too tired at the end of the day.
Also that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Have you figured out your favorite spot to eat in South Florida yet?
I cook.
Okay. I figured this when you said you're into nutrition. I'm like, he probably doesn't even eat out. Yeah. Like, that's a good thing. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Okay. I'm going just straight 100% ground beef, organic, grass-fed ground beef, whatever, healthy stuff, vegetables, some rice.
Okay.
You know? But if anyone has some Mexican spots, let me know. If I'm going out to eat, Mexican.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Do you like guacamole?
Love it.
Okay. We charge extra for that here. Okay. So this is a good one. What's one exercise that you think is like overrated? Like, do you think that's like a waste of your time?
Probably like a sit-up.
Yes, right? Sit-up. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Or those like, this might trigger your audience.
You're not going to offend anybody.
But you know, these little glute exercises that girls do with these. It's
the Kegel machine.
It's like, what are you doing? You know, it's not going to get you a bigger ass, you know?
It's not. It's really not. Trust me, I've tried it. Yeah. Okay, what's your favorite exercise? Like, or what do you think is the most underrated? Like, what's the best exercise to like help your body that you feel you see the biggest improvements?
You know, so I'm going for that eyeball test, right? Trying to get some big shoulders. So I think just some shoulder presses.
Yes, those are good. I love those.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What size shoe do you wear?
These are 16. I play in 17s though.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have any more.
Okay.
Okay. This has been amazing. You're super motivating, super inspiring. How old are you?
27.
Okay. Young. You've got your whole life ahead of you. I love that. I really appreciate you coming here, recording with me, sharing with my audience. If you're probably still listening because this has been good, but if you're still listening, make sure you follow Baylee on Instagram. That's his biggest platform. So at Baylee, Baylee Steele, Steele with an underscore at the end. He's got great videos, great reels, like sharing like, you know, hot button content, clickable stuff. Are you rage baiting people yet?
Nah.
I know, right? I can't get into it.
I did one time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have my like style of content I like, but I'll experiment with other stuff, right? So in the basketball world, it's very clear. NBA is the best league in the world, and it's no question. EuroLeague is the second best. Like everyone agrees on that.
Yeah.
I play basketball in China in the CBA. All the import players there, all the Americans, most of them have played an NBA game. So I'm like, okay, this is high level. Let me post a video to say CBA is better than EuroLeague.
Oh my God.
So I said, you know, is CBA better than EuroLeague? I gave good supporting arguments. You know, we're taking players from the EuroLeague over here. I didn't definitively say CBA is better than EuroLeague, but I like asked the question.
Yeah.
And gave supporting arguments for it. So that's like as close
as rage baiting you did.
But I didn't like it because it's not. I don't think that. So I was really doing it.
Did you get a lot of traction with it?
Well, yeah, it did well.
Were people like fighting in the comments?
People were fighting. People calling me some bad names. And I'm like, I mean, I asked for it, you know?
Exactly.
But I don't like doing that because I don't believe that, you know?
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny to see like how easily people can get triggered on it.
It's crazy.
It is funny to me.
It's so crazy. Well, keep making content, keep inspiring. I missed taking a photo. So Baylee met Charlie, guys. He signed a basketball for him, but I missed getting a photo with him. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for coming here. If you aren't following Baylee, make sure you follow him now, and we will post more of these clips, and we'll keep on doing what we're doing. Leave 5 stars as a review if you haven't already. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for coming on, Baylee.
Dr. Kandace, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It was so much fun.
Bye, guys.